Well, let's chat more about Vusimuzi Matlala's testimony. For that, we're going to be joined by Andy Mashaile, security strategist and retired ambassador of Interpol. On that note, Andy, a very good evening and thank you for your time with us here on the SABC at this hour.
Good evening to you, Lizelle, and to the viewers of this wonderful show, the late edition.
Andy, we are making sense of what's transpired over the past 2 days with Vusimuzi Matlala, of course, is testifying before the Hoc Committee. And we're trying to ascertain and compare what transpired yesterday versus what transpired today, the mode of questioning the MPs afforded him, the gaps that then also remain as a result. How do you begin to make sense of what has been echoed up to date from him?
Lizelle, yesterday and today was the apple cart was upset by Mr. Matlala. Yesterday, he told us that us meaning the nation, that he paid the former minister 300,000 and the second tranche of 200,000 rands. Now compare and contrast that with Mr. Fadiel Adams, who went to lay a charge of perjury because Tantam Kwanazi might have committed a sin of apologizing as a result of wanting to withdraw that his numbers were found on the phone as they were investigating. And long story short, I looked at the two dynamics and realized that the material, a substance to the material of payment to General Bekikele was confirmed by Mr. Matlala himself. If these allegations turned out to be nothing else but the truth. And as I said yesterday, Lizel, and looked at Mr. Fadiel Adams and the arguments that he put up of perjury, and today having opened another case of corruption against General Mkhwanazi, I fast-tracked to today and listened to how confident Matlala was with regard to responding to the question. This leaves us in a limbo because what we have learned all along has been turned topsy-turvy, and myself, yourself, and I as the followers cannot wait to come to the conclusion of this process to find out if we'll have time to test the veracity of these allegations and lead to findings that would either be adverse against Mr. Matlala and or those who have been charged with those allegations from General Ntantam Khwanazi.
The demeanor, the tone that he used, the generalizations as well, the selective memory aspects that perhaps came to the fore, how would you describe that? Was it cautious? Was he defensive as well? I'm asking this because we saw some of the sentiments echoed, as to the best of my knowledge, as I understood. How does that all play out? It's also in relation to how he was being probed by the MPs himself. How would you then also weigh in on their conduct? Did they sufficiently pin down and really get to the nitty-gritties of what empowered him to act in the manner that he has?
The previous witnesses were not as smart as Mr. Matlala is. Mr. Matlala with a single word response, like the way he responded to questions, the yeses, the nos, I agree, what do you mean by this or that, showed prowess in terms of the confidence of handling the questions from the members of the ad hoc committee. Lizelle, I am a strategist and I enjoyed how he dealt with Honorable Member Sokanyile when she was asking whether Matlala sent out his sister to go and withdraw money, and the MP said that is tantamount to money laundering. And he responded confidently, cool, calm and collected, and said to the member, their understanding of money laundering is different. His understanding of money laundering is that money is being washed. And I could see the honorable member conceding to defeat, even though the honorable member did not say, yes, I don't understand it in a way and manner in which you are putting it. So long story short, you could see that there were some lessons that some of the ad hoc members learned, and they were not as fiery as we have seen in the past instances, except for one or two, Mr. Ngola, as well as Ian Cameron. They were asking rapid fire questions that rattled Mr. Matlala for some few seconds. I remember the questions coming from Mr. Ngola and him stopping Mr. Matlala when he wanted to go the long-winded route.
And this all obviously then fits into the bigger picture of what the ad hoc committee is trying to reconcile. We heard at the end there that it's Parliament's granted it an extension as well into the work. And so trying to now ascertain where to from here. What has been echoed from Cap Matlala, Vusimuzi Cap Matlala, in terms of the testimonies that have been previously echoed? How does it align or clash with what has been said? But if we're looking at the systemic issues at large, where the ad hoc committee is obviously looking at public administration and accountability, there's issues of network and influences, just as well as institutional weaknesses. What's further being exacerbated on that front?
Listen, the extension is bound to happen because there should be further investigation as a result of what the witness has unpacked. And I am certain that in the event that General Dineo Nkhoa is called to testify with regard to her presence in the meeting between Mr. Matlala and Mr. Mkhwanazi and what actually transpired, we are looking at a situation where there will be an extension. Obviously, Parliament's ad hoc committee has to deal with the systemic weaknesses in terms of oversight that the portfolio committee on police is charged with. And if the findings will not be from a thorough process, the findings will lack legitimacy and will lack integrity. So the extension will be informed by legitimacy of in the process as well as the integrity of the process, so that recommendations to the changing of the principles governing oversight and listening to police officers when they come and they present before the portfolio committee, so that an event of this nature does not happen. I mean the July 6th press conference. As I have indicated earlier on, I paid homage or respect to the strategy of General Mkhwanazi when I was asked about, do I think that Mr. Fediel Adams is panicking with the many cases that he's opening against Mkhwanazi? And I responded to the positive because, listen, I'm bringing this element. It is going to lead to other criminal charges that would have to be investigated and finalized. And the findings, the court findings, will then form part and parcel of the findings of the ad hoc committee, so that the recommendations that will be made to Parliament should not be hanging from a criminal aspect thereof as part and parcel of what came out of the witnesses in the ad hoc committee.
Well, we're looking at the timelines of Matlala's claims, interactions with officials, of course, some of the other names that have been mentioned that are yet to also appear, if that is obviously as per the ad hoc committee's work that's now been extended. Andy, let's leave our conversation there. We'll continue to, of course, monitor all of that action as it continues. Andy Mashaile there joining us to unpack what's inspired as day 2 of Vusimuzi Cap Matlala's testimony for the ad hoc committee concluded.